In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a life. Many of the people are of the view that we don't have enough amount of time available. We don't have enough amount of life. As a matter of fact, the life we are having is sufficient. Our Creator knows the best what type, what amount of time, what quantity of time should be given to their creature, should be given to the human being. That is why the time we have got is a very appropriate one. The 24-hour day we have got is sufficient one. Simply what is needed is that we should be utilizing the time available, we should be utilizing the energy available in the right direction, toward the right targets. That is why I think so. The time available, the 24-hour day available, the energy available is sufficient, provided we stop squandering it here and there on saying this thing that we are squandering our time here and there. Many of the people will start thinking that I don't do that. I don't do the unnecessary thing. I don't do the useless thing. Maybe, quite probably, what they are saying is something true. But there is a big but here, and that but is we keep thinking about our past experiences quite often, particularly the experiences which were bitter one, which were not so pleasant, which rather resulted in the injury to our emotion, to our thoughts, due to which we wasted our time, our energy, the rest of the resources, and we felt bad, emotionally shattered, because we were of the view that I am going to have a player, I am going to have something very valuable in my life, but we could not achieve that. That is why we felt shattered, we feel shattered. That is why we feel injured. That is what which demotivates us, and which somehow lowers our spirits, which actually demotivates us. And here is where most of the people waste their time, waste their energies upon. Even the people who are apparently educated people, they people too are found thinking off and on, rather I shall say maybe several times a day, they people think about their past experiences, particularly the experiences which were not so pleasant, and these people feel low spirits, feels demotivated. I think so. Here we need to change our attitude, because this is the place and this is the point where most of the people are wasting their time, most of the people are wasting their energies, most of the people are getting demotivated. This is so. And this is where we need to change. What we need to do is, what sort of attitude should we have, if at all we don't want to, if at all we don't want to remember it quite often, if at all we don't want to feel injured quite often about the past experiences, about the past bitter experiences. what to do then. And let me tell you, because that is the topic of today's discussion. All what we need to do is that means every time this thing, a thing like this one, which happened in the past, which was not so present, which was not so pleasant, and instead of every time something like that comes into our mind, all what we need to do is we need to do number one. First of all, we need to extract, we need to learn whatever we can out of that experience. And quite probably we have devised certain things, we have evolved certain things, we have extracted and manipulated certain things, we have extracted certain things, certain lessons as an essence of that experience. First of all, we need to remember what lesson did I learn out of that, or if at all till now we have not reached the conclusion that what sort of lesson should be learnt out of this experience. I think so we need to do that. We need to remember what sort of lesson could be learnt out of it, and which lesson would be and should be applied in the future, and so that we could stop making those unpleasant experiences, and we should start making the pleasant experiences. Although an absolute eradication of those unpleasant experiences is not possible, but we can drastically reduce the same sort of things happening in the future life of ours. And that is what we need to remember. On the one hand, on the other hand, we need to start thinking immediately what I need to do in that respect, what I need to do in the rest of my life, what I need to do, how to make my way, how to make my way, how to make my way is the best ever question. I think so. And also that we need to remember I can do that. We need to remember it quite often, quite often. What I can do that. How can I make my place? How can I make my way in the future toward my destination, toward my targeted goals on the one hand, and then repeating this thing in our mind that I can do that, I can achieve that, I can protect myself from a bitter experiences like this one in my future. But let me tell you, and let me rather assure you of one thing, that our future life cannot be emptied from the unpleasant experiences. These unpleasant experiences will keep happening, although we can reduce it up to some extent or up to great extent. And then very next to that, we should get busy, and we should make a firm commitment with whom, with we ourselves, that inshallah I shall be leading a fuller life. I am not going to keep myself reserved, rather I am going to lead a fuller life. Thank you.